usually take a
I
couple hours, and
I think like out of there.
we're streaming.
Yeah. We're streaming.
We're
All
streaming.
right, baby. We on live, baby. I'm gonna go on YouTube just to make sure we ain't crazy. You go ahead and talk. What we gonna talk about tonight, Mr. Hank Danger?
There is a new. They are re-releasing a very popular old Forester that came out in 2021. What was the? There was a limited edition 2021 Old Forester 117 series. I don't know if you remember that. The high.
Oh, yeah. The High Angel Share.
Correct. News this week. They are re-releasing. Popular old Forester that came out in 2021.
Okay, we're on live. Oh, hold on. Actually, hold on.
They are
I can
re-releasing
hear
it.
you. Let me see if I can hear me. Let's see here, live again. Me. Go ahead, talk. Fill the data, man.
So they're 110 proof. It was a whiskey. It was a whiskey that
All right.
was it was the first whiskey forged by a lady at Old Forester.
Okay, she was the master distiller.
She was the
I don't
master.
think is she still the master distiller. I think she might have moved on.
She is not there, but the next whoever Jim Johnson or whoever it is now, I'm sure Caleb Trigo
Yeah, I think the lady.
is re-releasing
Yeah,
it.
I don't know the name, but the lady, you're right. She was the first to start the 117 series, which is basically I think it's either a 350 or 375, bottle of some special edition. I think when I went there and did the tour, and if you look at our past videos, you could see that them burning the barrel, and we had some pictures of the actual tour and stuff like that. But they had a Scotch version, so I haven't opened that yet. So if you ever come to my crib, I can share with you the special edition Scotch version they had, which was at the beginning of this year. And I think that kind of like they do with the A124, all the different letters and quarters and all that kind of stuff. Same thing with Jack Daniels and the Tennessee Tasters. They do like two or three a year. And so this Old Forester's doing the same thing. And again, it was started by the lady who had a great idea, great marketing idea. And again, from a taste profile, it was a great idea as well. The one I really want is the double oak.
The Old Forester double
So
oaked.
a double oak. That's
The
but I
I
think
guess
that was like
I
two
guess it
terms
stuck.
ago.
Yeah, I guess it stuck out in my mind because our friend Willie NASCAR, who was looking at the, I saved all our bottles from the previous. I saved all our bottles from the previous weeks, and he took a look at what we were drinking and said,
Hmm.
the best one of the batch was the Old Forester 1920. So,
Oh, he had the 1920. You like that one?
yeah, he was
Yeah.
that was the best one of everything we've tasted over the last
No, a lot of people love
several
that one.
years.
It's high proof. It's got lots of flavors. It's just really what you're looking for. But if you're looking for a little less proof, a little more smoothness, I think me and you both would probably agree. You probably want to go with the Woodford Reserve Double Oak. And Old Forester has a similar kind of double oak. It's called the 1910 um, um, whiskey row series. So you should try that one if you see that one. Give that a shot. It's pretty good too.
Um,
And I mean, technically, Woodford Reserve, Jack Daniels, and Old Forester are all owned by the same parent company, Brown Forman. So they're going to have a very similar kind of at least marketing rollout. Because, like I was saying, you got the at the Woodford Reserve shop, you got double oak, you got all these other different like master blends, the barrel proof that comes out once a year, and those kind of things. Very similar to what you see at Jack Daniels. It comes out with the one-time release of, whether it was the special edition rye or the Coy Hill, or, I think last year it was the 12-year-old and 10-year-old that are now standard once a year. They're going to come out with those. And then again, the Tennessee Tasters that come out two or three times a year. Same thing with Old Forester. When you go there, you got the 117 series. So it just keeps you active. It keeps you wanting to come to the place and see, what they have to offer. And, I think it's pretty neat.
There is a new event too. I saw a whiskey festival heading to San Antonio, man. If you want to come down next month, it's the Riot. What's it called? The Riot Festival. The Whiskey Riot Festival. $120 gets you access to 200 whiskeys and bourbons that you would not normally have access to.
200.
200. You get
how much we talking entry fee wise?
$120.
Yeah, I think you should probably give it a shot, man. Because I guarantee you walk away with, trying stuff you hadn't had. And then usually at these big events, you get to see the vendors, and they like to, kind of give you a few like promotional items and those kind of things. And maybe you could have some of them and say, hey, I got a YouTube channel. And, they go, oh, well, here, try this one for your YouTube channel and all this kind of stuff. And we can, maybe get some ins. You know what I'm saying?
You want me to go hawk Fat Guy Little Sips at the whiskey festival?
Well, to be honest, I'm not trying to say my show's not the best, and I think it is. But if you want to just look at total viewership, I think Hank Danger Whiskey on TikTok has the most subscribers of our, two ventures here. So if you want
177
and still counting. So if you want to, if you're talking about it, that's where I would probably go. Say, hey, I'm Hank Danger Whiskey. I do some guest appearances on other people's shows. I do TikTok videos, blah, blah, blah. I want to give this shot. And, they might give you a few, at least a shot or a taste or something. And you go, all right, cool. And then I'm not saying you get in the know, but it is something that's going to be unique. You know what I'm saying? It's probably going to be worth that 120. You know what I'm saying?
You should come down and we'll have somebody film it. And we'll do a little.
We'll get a little GoPro or something.
We'll professionally cut it. We'll have we'll have sound and music and
Well, my son is in the media business.
Corey, let's
well,
go.
And he said lavaliers are the way to go. I don't know what the hell a lavalier is, but from a microphone standpoint, we'll have a little lavalier. Kind of looks like a flower with a little.
Well, the ones that are square are supposed to be pretty good. I'm actually thinking about getting one for this.
Okay. Well, I don't
want to sound better than you, though. That's my problem.
You always sound better than me because if you looked at the last two videos, you couldn't even hear me.
Really?
You're
coming through good now. That's all that matters.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. If you recall, we had some little technical difficulties. So I've already poured out my Yellowstone special edition Toasted that we're going to give a shot tonight. We both got it in different spots. Let me just read off a few things while he's pouring. It says it's the 7th generation family distillers. This is Yellowstone Branch Distillery in Lebanon, Kentucky. It's been there since 1872. When I first saw the brand, I figured they were kind of associated with that show Yellowstone, which pretty damn good show, but it's not. It's actually just a place in Lebanon, Kentucky. So this one specifically is a special finish collection. It's the Toasted. It's 100 proof. It's Kentucky straight bourbon, so it's at least 4 years because there's no age statement. And it's then finished with toasted oak staves. So, yeah, I'm ready to give it a shot. What do you think?
All right.
Tonight I'm using the Norland glasses. I don't know. What do you think? You like these better than the double walled?
They're fantastic. They're a fantastic looking glass.
And I'll tell you when they don't. I'm looking at it on screen here. It doesn't do justice. Like it's got this pure golden ring around it, especially when it's accentuating the actual color of the whiskey. It's just like beautiful from a visual appearance. But I think the Glencairn is a better tasting experience.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I mean it smells like a whiskey if you ask me. It's a little sweet.
It's not too over methylated like for alcohol.
Right. I mean it tastes. I feel like it's got a little grain. I can smell some grain on it. Can you get some grain on it?
On the smell, have you tasted it yet? I didn't watch you.
No, I haven't tasted it yet.
I'm not.
I'm hoping I'm not cross pollinating with the crappy Texas whiskey I had earlier.
Don't mess with Texas, man. Um, it's not bad. It just smells like a plain. Like it smells like a pretty plain Jane whiskey. Like, ugh.
It's punching a taste. I'll tell you that, and it's staying with you.
Oh God. Oh. Ugh.
Wow.
Oh.
Now, in my opinion, it's got a little too much oak on it, and I think it's probably those oak staves. So what oak staves are is they're just basically pieces of wood that they stick in the whiskey. Have a lot of higher surface area that gets a lot of oak flavor off of it quick. So that's what I'm tasting on this. It's okay whiskey. It starts going down, it starts tasting okay, and then it packs a huge oak burn, just flavor to me, and it kind of just takes over and kind of almost makes my eyes water. What do you think?
I like the gentle hint of hamster vomit and the aftertaste.
Now that might be something I need to, cut on a short. Okay, I don't think Yellowstone is gonna, sponsor you anytime soon.
I will not go to their booth on May
Hold on.
16th, on May 8th next month.
I'm just saying, you don't get this in many whiskeys, but the smell of hamster vomit is very prevalent.
It had a very slight hamster vomit aftertaste.
Yeah, this is not.
Good whiskey.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's not good. It's not.
Tastes like
It's
shit.
not. It's not great.
For as much as it is, okay, I have a question. All right, we were talking
It was
earlier.
only like 55. It wasn't that expensive.
It was only like 42 here, but
Yeah, I mean, I think it might have been 50 for me then. It wasn't that expensive.
I mean, for a $50 bottle of whiskey, would you rather drink this or Maker's Mark? We were having this conversation earlier about.
Oh well, I don't like Maker's Mark unless
Really?
it's the cast strength. Have you had the cast strength?
I've had the cast strength. I haven't had the 101. Have you had the 101?
Well, I mean, 101 is just
Is that
a
the
little
cast?
lower than the cast strength. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Is it?
I think there's.
I don't think I've had the cast strength. A 46. I think I've had the 46. I haven't had the.
Oh, the 46 I don't like as much as the regular one.
The 101 I always wanted to try, and I haven't had the cast strength.
And I'll say
Go ahead.
the 46 is very similar to this as far as just punch because it has those French oak staves, which these have toasted oak staves.
Sans
So,
the hamster vomit.
well, I presume that, but some people say Maker's Mark tastes like spoiled milk. So it is 100% up to your interpretations.
It was when I was a little story when I was back in the day working at a jewelry store. So Maker's Mark was always a higher price point when I was poor, when I was less rich, right? So when I was
Yeah, I'm with you because you got to think. I mean, when you're just starting in your whiskey game, or you're 25, 30, and you're just like, hey, I'm just drinking because it tastes good.
Yeah, try 22 or 22, 23, but yeah.
But you get my point. You're usually drinking for cost, so you're getting the Evan Williams that's like $12 a bottle. You're getting the the Jack Daniel's Black that's only like maybe 15 or whatever. So Maker's Mark at 25. Oh shit.
Exactly. So whenever the I guess the reason one of my affinities towards Maker's Mark is every Christmas Eve, I used to work retail at a jewelry store back in my early 20s, and I'd have to drive home on Christmas Eve at 6:00 through whatever snow or weather was. There was always every other year there was some type of snow event or something
in Texas.
Right. So I'd stop off at the liquor store because I was in a long line of cars anyway. I pulled over. I stop at the liquor store and go, it's Christmas Eve. I'm going to go ahead and get the Maker's Mark. And every Christmas Eve, I'd have a couple drinks of the what what was at the time a higher tier whiskey, right?
Right,
So,
right, right, right. I'm with you.
So so every Christmas I've kind of carried that. I've carried that tradition up
Right.
until
Sure.
last Christmas, right? I just have
And I'm not
once a
here.
year. It's a once a year
Yeah.
wonderful treat. To
And you have to think a lot of what you're tasting, a lot of the things that you remember from a flavor profile. It's all back to your memories. Like for example, if you're tasting a new dessert and you're like, oh, this brings me back to the oatmeal chocolate chip cookies that my grandma used to make on, Saturday mornings. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to give you that positive feeling, so you're going to automatically rate it a lot higher. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with what you're doing with the Maker's Mark. Oh, I remember those tough times through the winter, and this was the one thing that I looked forward to and I enjoyed. And so it's going to, again, elevate it in your mind. And that's why I think from a journey perspective, you are expanding your horizons. Maybe this isn't where you want to expand, but you should, it looks like you're drinking and then completing. You know what I'm saying? You need to save some and then like say, okay, let's do a blind taste between this, and this and Makers and see if you can go, which one do I think's best? And if it is Makers, then you love Makers. You know what I'm
well,
saying?
I also am friends with alcoholics who come to my house and
Drink responsibly, too.
exactly. Not to say anything. We had the same friend has come twice that is a mutual acquaintance of ours and has tried out some of the leftover whiskey from these taste tests.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I understood.
but yeah, no, I mean I think you're wrong. I don't agree. I know what you're saying. And I kind of agree with what you're saying to a point. But even last Christmas, even after years of trying different, expanding my horizon a little bit, it's still delicious whiskey. I mean it's the same
Oh,
sweetness.
I mean, if you look at just, I think what was one of our first videos, you said what are the top 10 whiskeys that are sold and bought and
Exactly.
enjoyed. I mean, Maker's Mark was up there. So I'm not saying it's not one of the ones, but I'm just saying for me, I don't like it because I'm not a lover of the wheat.
And I'm
And
not.
it might not be wheat. It might just be Maker's Mark. But that's what I associate Weeders with, Maker's Mark, just because that's the common one. But the other Weeders, like I kind of expanded my horizon a little bit, and I got some Weller Special Reserve, and I was like, oh, that's not half bad. You know what I'm saying? And then I think we both enjoyed over the Christmas holiday the Larceny, which is a weeder as well, and we're like, oh wow, this is actually super good. Would you compare? Would you say Larceny is better than your Maker's Mark?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, that was
And so
that was one of the few times I tried something with somebody else and was like, I'm gonna go buy that. Like
yeah, yeah, no, I hear you. That's
on
the
my own
whole point.
accord. There is a I don't know if you've seen it at Willie NASCAR's cabinet, but he
Okay,
has what I feel is was the best whiskey of 2020,
okay, what is that?
2019. Crown Royal made a bourbon mash, and it was
Oh, okay.
absolutely delectable. Um,
They can't make a bourbon.
they made a bourbon mash. It was
Okay.
no joke. It was Crown Royal bourbon mash.
I understand, but what they're trying to say is it's a similar mash to bourbon, which means it's corn forward and all that kind of stuff.
It was
But
delicious, delectable.
Crown Royal is Canadian whiskey,
I
so
understand.
it can't be bourbon because bourbon's only American.
I understand. It tasted like bourbon. It was very good. It was. It was. Mr. Willie NASCAR has a bottle of it unopened. I gave it to him. Um,
I have this that I'm trying to get rid of that no one wants to drink. Well, I don't know if no one wants to drink. I don't want to drink it. Crown Royal Reserve,
is it a bourbon mash?
blended Canadian whiskey.
Yeah, it's a blended Canadian whiskey.
Yeah, I mean, but you do understand Canadian whiskey is mostly freaking corn.
Tr- Trust me, man. Next time you're there, go ahead and try this Crown. If anybody, please comment. Anybody who's tried the Crown Royal Bourbon Mash, um, it was a limited run for a short time, and the only reason I found out about it was a limited run, and the liquor store had too much, and one of the assistant managers took home a case of it, and I don't know if she stole it or took home a case of it. Somehow she took home a case of it and was offering to a buddy of mine, and he said, "You got to try. I can get this."
Ooh, it's called okay. They have it nowadays. You can get it. It's only $99.
It was much less back in the day. It was like
you can get the smaller ones, like the 375s, like $30 or something. Let me see here. Let's pull it up here.
Well, next time we're in a town, we should go. We should try that.
I just feel the only reason I drink is because I'm all about America. America. And I love Canadians, but they can stay up there.
The only reason I drink is because I'm all about America.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That's a short, man. That's a short.
All right, bourbon mash. I'm trying to look at the bourbon mash. It's I think they changed it to blender's mash.
Yeah, this is bourbon. There's on the front of the bottle, it literally said Crown Royal Bourbon Mash.
No, I'm looking at it, and you're right. It did say that, but I think now everywhere I see it, it doesn't say bourbon mash anymore. It says blender's mash. So they changed the name because probably someone tried to sue them or something.
Correct. So.
Hold on. I don't know if you. Let me zoom in. Tell me if you can read that.
Go over to. Hold on. Let me change the view. It did not.
So that's the bottle.
It did no. That is not the bottle. It did
not
say that at the
bottom.
That's
the bottle. That's the bottle, dude.
No, it was a white bottle. It was a white bottle.
No, this is the actual bottle, man. I'm not lying.
That is not the actual
bottle. Oh my god. This is the actual bottle. It says bourbon mash. It says blender mash series, and at the bottom there's a sticker to make sure no one confuses that with bourbon whiskey.
No, this was. I'll show you what it was. It was this right here. Ready? Look at your screen. That was the bottle.
It's the same bottle, dude.
At the bottom, it does not say this is not a Canadian.
They took it off. They have to post it when they're actually showing it. They don't have to show it in what is it?
I think it's a white bottle. I don't think that's the right bottle. I don't remember a darker label.
There's no dark label. That's the same label. Put yours right beside it.
No, I'm gonna find it. Let me find it. Let me get a picture sent up here. It's a white label.
It says 2018, and it's ongoing, so it's something that continues to go. It's 64% corn, it's 31% rye, it's 4.5% malted barley.
100% delicious. All right.
It says the bourbon mash is part of the company's Blender Series line of whiskeys. The whiskey created controversy due to it being called bourbon mash, as it is a blended Canadian whiskey. While it technically utilizes a bourbon mash, it is produced in Canada and also utilizes a blend of new oak barrels and used oak barrels, which is also an issue. The TTB initially approved the product label Cola for this product, only to later revoke this label after the product had already gone to market. Realizing their error, the TTB granted Diageo a 1-year time frame to continue using the bourbon mash naming convention for this product. In the aftermath, Diageo moved quickly to correct its labeling mistake. While initial batches made no distinction that anything was out of place with the product, later batches have a large sticker placed on both the outside of the box and on the bottle itself that reads, "This is not a bourbon whiskey." Bourbon mash name immediately, instead of taking the full year it was allotted, was now renamed Blender's Mash. So if you go to the store and you want that, I mean, if you like it, I don't have a problem with it.
It's delicious. But if I ever find it, we're taste testing it.
But you will never find it saying bourbon mash anymore because they got issues with the TTB. So it'll be called Blender's Mash.
No, I'm gonna find Willie NASCAR has an old school bottle. I gave him one of the 2020 bottles.
Yeah, old school. That's fine. I'm just saying that but this was breaking. I was reading off of Breaking Bourbon, who's pretty good source from whiskey standpoint. So I mean, basically, kind of like I said, I think it was just it was kind of a loose statement saying, "Hey, we use the bourbon mash bill," and again, I'm okay with that because they didn't really say it was bourbon, but some people got confused because it does say bourbon, whatever, and so people did get pissed. Probably the people down in Kentucky because they're all like uppity about their whiskey, and they said, "Hey, you got to get that off there," and so that's when you know they put that stupid sticker at the bottom you were seeing.
I can't stand this Yellowstone, man.
Yeah, it is not very good. I agree.
Um, I
It's kind of funny. One of the first bottles of whiskey my friend gave me was Yellowstone because he's like, "Oh, this is a good entry kind of. It's different. It's not like I don't know, Jack or Jim Beam or whatever. It's Yellowstone, so it's a little different." And I was like, "Yo, I don't like it that much." And that was at the beginning of my journey, so I was thinking that maybe it was just me not
no,
liking whiskey
you're
at all.
it's horrible.
And you know, I don't like it at all.
The front end
Um,
is, I mean, granted the hamster vomit aside, the front end is absolutely. I can't. You know what? It tastes. It's very kind of Bardstowny. You know what I didn't like about Bardstown seems to make up this entire drink.
it's too oaky. It pushes you out. Like you put it on your palate, and you're like, "Oh, this is not going to be so bad." And then the oak just burns in like it's still on fire, and then it just shoots into you, and you're like, "Oh man, it's just overpowering with the toast."
It doesn't do anything with the flavor profile. It doesn't do anything. Like it's just. It's like
Well, I can't. I mean, I can't get to the flavor profile
I
because
can,
it's like
if
okay,
if you
and
take
then it
enough
goes,
if you take enough hits, you can taste it for a second, like just a
right,
second, and there's nothing there. It's
and then
just
it just burns because the toast just comes out of nowhere.
it's a
Like I
horrible
said, the first time I had it, it almost made my eyes water.
it's a horrible front end. It's got no personality, and it's got a hint of hamster vomit. So
Now, I did have my friend pick me up another whiskey in New York City. You want me to try that?
what do you got?
This is called Kings County Distillery. So this is the marketing on it. Look at that. Isn't that kind of pretty tight? I mean, it's just like, yo, I'm a freaking bottle. Ain't nothing to do. This is one that you get out of your wagon and it's going to help you, like, stop the demons or whatever the hell back in the day they used to do. And this is where it's at, man. So it's kind of cool. Got a little flavor. It's actually made directly in New York City, man.
Um,
You want
let
me to
me.
try it?
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, it's. I would never try a whiskey from New York, but so by all
Oh,
means,
have you? I don't know. Do you like documentaries and stuff?
I do. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so there was this documentary. It's called Empire Rye. It's on YouTube. Go ahead and search it while I'm trying to open this bottle.
All right.
Well, that was a good pop. And basically, what New York tried to do is they tried to say, you know what, Kentucky clearly, oh man, clearly has a hold on the bourbon industry, right? Because I
Right.
mean, I think we talked about it. Like 95% of the bourbon actually comes out of Kentucky, even though it can be made anywhere in New York. I mean, in the U.S. Oh shit! You see how dark that is?
Don't count
Eh.
your chickens, but go ahead.
I know, I hear you. And so, this documentary was like, how can we make something that's special to the Northeast region? And so, this is where they decided to get some distilleries together, and basically they said, let's put a definition on what they call Empire Rye. And Empire Rye is basically New York State is the Empire State, and basically it requires that they came up with the restrictions just like you do on bourbon, like X% this has to be in this for this many years and all that kind of stuff. So as a distilling conglomerate in the New York State, they decided to come up with a set of rules to label what an Empire Rye is. Now, again, this is not a rye, this is a bourbon. But, this place was one of the, people that actually started that Empire Rye. So an Empire Rye is basically just a regular rye, but it requires it to be, grains sourced in New York State. And then from a distilled standpoint and from an age standpoint, it has to be done in New York. And again, there's percentages like, I mean, you can't have 100% corn or 100%, grains all from New York because you're going to batch some stuff. So it's like 90% or 80%. I don't know what the rules are, but it was kind of cool to hear all these small distilleries kind of going together and trying to say, hey, I'm fighting the way that the TTB does it. And I'm fighting the way that the distributors are taking a lock on this. And I'm trying to, give the customer something that they can believe in and trust. And it was kind of cool. So I think you should, take a look. It's called Empire Rye, I think it's called. You can search for it on Amazon or YouTube or something. But it's pretty good watch. So, ooh.
New York bourbon. How's your?
Okay, so I'm smelling it, and it is hoppy. So this one specifically is aged 4 years or more.
4 years, man.
4 years or more. It's a batch. It's batch 18. Again, it is distilled in Kings County Distillery in Brooklyn, New York. It is the barrel strength version, so it's 134.6
Jesus
proof. And again, as you can see, it's almost as dark as my wood behind me as far as thickness. So let's see what we're getting into. Oh, and then from a mash bill standpoint, I don't think it says it on here, but it says it on their website. Here it is. 80% New York corn and 20% UK barley. I'm sorry, UK malt. Malted barley.
What does UK malt have to do with anything?
So, I mean, basically you're using, like, for example, in scotches, right?
Right.
You're using malted barley to create scotch. And so basically they're using the same barley that you do in like an official scotch for 20%. And then they're using 80% corn from New York. So there is no rye, there is no wheat. It's just corn and malted barley.
It's not going to taste good.
It actually smells pretty good. I can smell the fire on it a little bit. And I can smell like it's hoppy as far as, I don't know if you've gotten a little high malt, like Chattanooga, right?
Right.
Chattanooga is high barley. I mean, if you can compare it to some of the other one, it's got a little, I wouldn't say, like beers, IPA and, pale ale and all that kind of stuff. It's just different. And I think it's kind of like in that realm. Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh, hell yeah. This is thick, dude. It's sitting on my tongue. And again, it's 136 proof. Did you see my eyes water? Like when I taste this toasted, I'm about to gag. But this one, it's going down sweet.
That toasted.
I can tell it. I can tell it.
Making my stomach hurt.
I can tell it's got a. You know how Scotch has a little smokiness in it.
Right. Yeah.
I think the malted barley on this gives it a little smoke in the back end, which is not, it's not heavily peated because I don't think it's peated at all. But it's not that heavy like peated type smoke kind of flavor, but it does have a smoke to it. So it's kind of like like some whiskey is like sugary sweet, like a caramel or a cherry cola or something like that. This is more like, this is what I think a Texas whiskey should be. Because you know how a Texas whiskey, sometimes you taste it and you're like, man, all I can smell is charcoal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is like charcoal, but it's smooth charcoal. It's like the barbecue back home in Memphis, charcoal. You know what I'm saying? I'm digging this. I'm gonna have to either send you some or you have to come see me on this one. Oh yeah, this is, you know, from a smell standpoint, I would say it's probably a 3.6, something like that, because it's not like from a smell perspective. I really usually like a really sweet smell and like, oh, this is gonna be like, cherry cola and like all this kind of flavor. It's like a full smell, but it's not like super sweet or anything like that. So it tastes like I don't know what's gonna. It's like a gourmet type meal. It's savory, yeah. And so then when you taste it, again, it's not super sweet, but it just fills your whole mouth up. And again, it's still I can still feel it, and it's not like a heartburn going down. It's just like, yo, I'm here. I can still feel like I can feel like when I'm talking, my mouth is like I can feel it like kind of effervescent when I'm like drinking it. So from a palate standpoint, I would say it's probably like a 3.8, 3.9. But uniqueness wise, I would say it's like a 4.4, 4.5. It's totally something different. I've never tasted something like this from a unique profile. And then a finish, I mean, I would say it's a little less finish wise than what I had on Jack Daniel's 12, because that was just so strong as far as the finish. So I'd say it's probably like a 4.2 on the finish. And I would think it's pretty high up there in my category. So what did I say? Like 3.5 nose. What did I say? Like a 3.8 palate, something like
I think you
that.
said 3.6 nose, but yeah.
3.6 nose, 3.8 palate. I would say finish wise, I think it's probably like a 4.2, maybe a little lower, and then a finish. I'm sorry, uniqueness probably a 4.2. Like I'm looking at it, you can see like the oiliness in the whiskey itself. You can see the like light dispersing off it a little bit. I don't. Yeah, I mean, you probably can't see that, but I mean, can you not see that that's much darker
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
than what you see in the toasted?
No, I'm with you, man.
And like actually, now that I'm going back to the toasted, it smells like banana chips. You know those hard like banana chips that are usually
Yeah.
like in
No, no.
trail mix. Do you have some left? See if you can smell that banana chip. Oh hell yeah, I can smell banana chips.
I don't know, man.
You, you,
It's just not good. I'm just.
maybe banana chips smells like your hamster vomit.
Oh, it makes me not want to drink. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, I'm with you. So,
how are they still selling this in stores with a straight
well,
face?
I mean, again, this is like, it says here that it's since 1872, which I probably call BS on, but
Yeah, this is not. This is stupid. All right.
I will say the one thing I do read on this that I agree with is, women should not drink alcoholic beverages during pregnancy because of the risk of birth defects. I think that's probably correct. That's the only thing I'll go with on this one. So, but no, I think I think this is a good showing. I'm gonna have to tell my buddy it's pretty solid.
What's up and coming next week? What's the
I don't
plan?
know, man. You tell me. You want me to drink some Crown Royal Reserve and you get out the blender smash Crown Royal? Uh,
What's the what's hot right now?
America, America.
What's a hot whiskey right now? What's a hot whiskey?
There's some hot whiskeys. I would say that anything that Heaven Hill is doing pretty hot is hot and heavy right now. So that's you got your Larceny series that are pretty hot. I think Fred Minnick said the A124 is just as good of a banger as that C923 that we had. So if you see the Larceny Barrel Proof in your stores,
I know they
uh,
have the A124.
He said it was better, if not just as good as that one. So you should grab it. And if you do grab it, I can get it online through this other uh, this other I think it's through Fine Wine and Good Spirits. So I can get it through them. And then again, they have on top of the Larceny, they have the Elijah Craig barrel proofs. Elijah Craig is also supposedly coming out with a toasted like barrel proof versions. I think like high end Elijah Craig, or what we call Heaven Hill, because that's a whole series. They have a Heaven Hill, I think 18 year that's out right now. That's like $300 or something a bottle, but it is 18 years, and it is barrel strength. So from a mash bill standpoint and an age standpoint, it's very similar to what you see in the Elijah Craig 18. But a lot of people don't like the Elijah Craig 18 because it is, I think they put it out at 94 proof, which is your standard Elijah Craig proof. And having it 18 years and low proof like that, it's just too oaky. Again, I've never had it because it's $300 a bottle, but most people just don't dig it. But with this Heaven Hill 18, it is a little higher proof. I think it's like 120-ish, and it's 18 years. So they say it has a lot better profile taste-wise. But they do say, I think they released a 17-year 2 years ago, and they said the 17-year is better, but 18 is still worth buying. And if your pros, your pro whiskey tubers or whatever you want to call them, are saying buy something for $300 a bottle, I think somehow, if we could, me and you could combine some resources and at least try it. But if we don't, we don't. We stay down here with the Still Austins, the Long Hairs, the Treaty Oaks, the Yellowstones of the world. And once we go through the whole version of those, we just go back to Woodford Reserve Double Oak or 1920. So at least we know. At least we know it's good, right?
What haven't you tried that you'd want to try? That's not $300. Give me some. Give me some whiskeys you're interested in.
Why don't you give me some whiskeys you're interested in, and I'll tell you if I like it or not, or that I wouldn't mind trying it.
Okay, that we haven't tried.
Yeah. Right. So go ahead, hit me up with something.
Well, no, I mean I'll have to go to my liquor store to refresh my memory, but.
Okay, because I'm going to Maryland this weekend. I can probably pull some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Maryland is a open state, so I think if necessary, I can pay a little premium, and I'm not saying double secondary or anything like that, but I can pay a little premium to get something that you might have access to in Texas that I don't have in Pennsylvania.
Oh God, I mean the problem with I'm a name brand guy. I mean, I'd like to try I'd like to personally try the Jack Daniel 10-year, man, if I could find it on a Saturday morning. But it's
No, I'm with you there. I have the 12 from last year.
Yeah, I've looked at the liquor store on the Saturday morning. I usually get there a little bit late, but they still have. I haven't seen anything interesting in the. They have the allotments, so they package them up with other. They package them up with other like things because.
Yellowstone.
They package it up with Yellowstone because God,
right.
So it can fly off the shelf. And there really hasn't been. I've been going there Saturday mornings, and I haven't seen really anything.
You just got to show up early.
Yeah, I don't know if there's still some. Usually right a little bit after it opens, there's still a bunch of bags on the shelf, because they put it in the store with.
What's the big deal showing? I mean, it's just a little sleep time. If you show up at, I don't know, what time's your liquor store open? 9?
Yeah.
Show up at 7. Just sit there in line, look on your phone, read your emails, sit in a chair, it's, right now, I'm sure it's not super hot in Texas. It's probably a good temperature. And just relax, enjoy the thing. And then you can see if you're going to get a different level of options. Now, if you don't get a different level of options, then it's not worth saying. You just don't come back, but at least give it a shot. Because this one time, again, I went to Ohio and I didn't think I was going to get anything. We showed up at like 6, right? And we were 40th in line. Uh, People were in their car and they said the first guy got here at 12 o'clock, like at noon the day before. Other people were sleeping in their campers. I'm just like, yo, this is a little fucking crazy. I'm not going to get anything. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just leaving this joint because, again, they didn't open till like 10, but they knew the demand. The store opened up at like 6:30, gave everybody a ticket and said, you're number one, you're number two. I think we were like 43. And they said, all right, when we open at 10, we're going to call your numbers and you come in. And I'm like, that's a good system and all, but damn, I'm already 43. And so I just decided to drive to a smaller store down the road. And then they released the list of things that come out that morning in Ohio. And I was like 12th in line. And this store specifically had one case of Weller single barrel and one case of Weller CYPB. So, like, luckily, I got a bottle of CYPB, which is, again, its secondary price is like $500, $600, and I got it for 50. So, if you can do that, something similar in Texas, and pull down Jack Daniel's 10 or 12 at maybe $10 to $15 more than retail price, you should just do it. I mean, it's not going to hurt you. It's not like you might lose a few winks of sleep. You know what I'm saying?
You might lose one of those precious winks.
You can be like NASCAR Willie, and I will say this is kind of funny. Like we went to this one store in Tennessee with NASCAR Willie, and I was thinking I was just going to run in and see if they had something run out real quick, and he's like, no, we're gonna go in here, we're gonna try this, no. And he's got his 2 kids with him. So he's got one kid in his hand because the kid can't even walk. And the other kid's like 3 or 4 running around the store. Like, hey, don't knock that bottle over. And he's like, and the proprietor's sitting there going, would you like to try this whiskey? And he's like, yeah, baby, give me some of them. And he's just like, I'm like, what the fuck? Is your kid teething and you need to put a little whiskey on the gums or something? But I mean, it's just it's just different strokes for different folks. You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
So give it a shot. I think we've been on too long tonight. I love talking to you, Hank Danger.
Yeah, we've had a couple of false starts and stops.
Hey, false starts can be misconstrued as a double entendre.
False? Why false starts?
Just saying.
All right. So Fat Guy Little Sips has had. He's cut off. He's 86.
Well, this is 130. Hold on. 134.6 proof.
So. Yeah. And this is hamster vomit. So. Yeah.
Yes, and I usually drink all my whiskey, but that's what I got left of my sip of.
Oh my God.
Yellowstone.
Just. Horrible.
And anybody that wants Crown Royal Reserve, just let me know. I'll send it to you.
1235 Blue Street Lane.
I did pick up a bottle of the new Crown Royal Blackberry, though.
Oh my God, I can't do flavored anything, man. I don't want.
Well, I mean, it again. I get things because it's FOMO, fear of missing out. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's just the collector in me. But I was with somebody else that was like, oh man, I'm waiting for it to come out. I can never find it. It's so good, this, that, and other. And I was like, you know what? I don't like Crown personally because, again, it's not from America.
America.
So I wasn't going to get the Blackberry. But I went to the store and they're like, oh, we just got this today, and it's one bottle limit, and there's only like 6 bottles. And I was like, all right, fine, I'll get it. And then I texted the guy, I was like, hey man, you want this blackberry? I got it for you if you want it. He goes, oh no way, oh cool. And so I was like, yeah man, here, because I'm all about sharing, man. Sharing is caring.
Sharing in America. That's all.
Sharing is caring. I'm not like the mean American people. I'm like I love everybody in America. You
all
feel
right.
me?
Yep. You're 86. You're done. Yep.
Hank Danger. He's out.
Hank Danger.
Fat Guy Little Sips. Yo. I'm outie.
All right, guys. See you next week.